Hi, my name's David Odell with Odell Complete Concrete. Today I'm going to be showing you how to basically pour the concrete and all the tools you're going to need to get it ready for concrete and get a finished product. I'm going to show you the area before and after. Here it is before. It's the side yard of a house, typical house. A lot of side yards that don't have access look like this one. They're pretty much useless. They have no gate access to the front, and it's basically a dead end. So it's good for storage, and it kind of gets neglected in a lot of situations. So it's best just to concrete them in and clean them out. So here I am. I'm checking the levels up, checking the levels out here. And what I have to do here is I got to get the water to slope from the rear to the front through a hole in the block wall that kind of closes this whole side yard off. So the weep screed of the house, of course, we see that's there. The block grout joints are there. Normally these things are always put in level. Block walls are level, houses are level, so you have kind of fixed points you can kind of reference from. So you don't need a lot of elaborate tools to get your slope. All I used here was a 2-foot level with a 2x4. So I could go a little bit longer with the span of the 2x4. Now here's a red chalk line I snapped on here. I've got approximately 2 inches slope and 40 feet. It doesn't really show it on the block wall because this block wall is not perfectly level. It's actually sloped from the rear to the front. It's been here a while, so it may have changed, or maybe it was put in that way. Who knows? That's why it's important after you get your lines in, rather than just measuring off things that are normally supposed to be level, to double check them with your own level. Leveling device could be a laser level, 4-foot level, 2-foot level, whatever you got. Like I just use a 2-foot level on this one. So you got to be below the weep screed of the house, of course, because the floor level is pretty close to that, and you have to be below that. Right now I'm showing you the weep screed that we're gonna be about a 1/2 inch on this end, which is approximately 2 inches below floor level, because the stucco comes down about 1.5 inches, 2 inches below floor level. Now double check your chalk line to make sure they are sloping, just in case. Okay, we've got a little bit of bubble. It's not dead center, so we know that this is sloping. And there's your step 3, cutting and tying the rebar in. You don't have to use rebar reinforcement. You can use other reinforcements like wire mesh or none at all. It just depends how you want it to last. Rebar I like because it holds it together from moving, in case you get a tree, roots, or something like that. This job I poured it from the back to the front, and I worked myself into a corner, as you can see here. I have to jump the wall to get out. My option was to bring the pump hose around the house, which is about 225 feet, or hang the hose over the top of this wall, which made it about 60 feet. So we went this route because it made more sense. It's much easier. Now what I'll have to do is jump out. My footprints are going to be there at the bottom, so I'll just kind of use a funny float with poles, kind of touch it up. Now the concrete's a little bit harder here, so I'm out there. I got out here in some fiberglass sliders, which I prefer to the steelies because they're wider and they don't slide around as much. So you can get a little more pressure in your trowel and not sink in as deeply. So they have some, you can see the conduit they put in here before. They didn't really put it into code, of course, but it's a lot better than it was because now we got concrete over it, so it's well protected. Normally you want to be 18 inches to 2 feet, with your electrical, or if you're going to be above ground, you want to have it in steel. So you get people running around here, weed eaters and what have you. You don't want to cut into one of those by accident. Anyway, it's better than it was now at this point because we covered it. Now what I'm doing here is I brought my 4-foot level with me, and I'm double checking the slope as I go down. The reason I'm only really checking the one side of this job with the level is because the water slopes away from the house to the wall, so my crucial runoff point is going to be along the wall. So I only need to check it along that wall. So as I go back, I'll just slide the level with me, and I know it'll drain. They had some drains in here, and it would have been nice to use them, but this was pretty overgrown. There's a lot of palm trees. Palm trees happen to be the worst thing around drains. They love filling up those pipes, and there's no way to get them out. Once those roots are in there, you can't get them out. So you have to replace the pipes, and then they decided they didn't want to do that, so we just sloped the concrete to the front. The drains are there, but they're worthless. Now, this is your second pass going down the trowel. This is my son. He's going to knock it down the second time. This is what your end result's going to be. I mean, it's real smooth right here. Oops. I was looking at a fire up in the hills right there. I was kind of showing the smoke from that, but anyway, getting back to the job, this is your finished product pretty much. You can put a lot of different finishes after this. You can leave it smooth. You can drag a broom over it. You could throw some rock salt on it, pound it in there. You could stamp it at this point. A lot of options, but we're just going to go super basic and drag a broom over it just to give it that non-slip. He's cleaning up the joints. He's got 2 trowels. I think he's got a 16-inch, 16 by 4. He's got a 12 by 4. Let's see, we're running out of time here, so thanks for watching my video.